I knelt on the gravelly shore, trying to get my breath back. My chest burned every time I inhaled, like my lungs were still half full of water, and each cough scraped my throat raw. My hands shook as I pressed them into the cool bed of tiny pebbles beneath me, grounding myself, reminding myself I was still here, alive. When I finally stood, the cavern opened up around me again. Blue light was everywhere. Crystals were poking out from the walls and ceiling in long, jagged clusters, glowing softly, almost like they were breathing. Some of them hummed faintly, almost like singing, though too quiet to understand. The light reflected off the small pond of water from where I emerged and scattered across the stone, making the cavern feel enormous. I turned in a slow circle, my heart still racing with both awe and terror as I scanned the enclosed cavern. "No," I whispered. "No, there has to be a way out." I briskly walked along the edge of the water, fingers brushing against the stone walls as I searched for an opening. A tunnel, a crack, anything. But every direction looked the same. Smooth rock, glowing crystal, more blue light stretching on and on. Nothing. My breathing picked up as I quickly circled the perimeter of the cavern again, hoping, begging, for there to be something I missed. The cavern surrounded the water like a large dome, and was only about the size of our living room back home, yet somehow it felt impossibly endless. "Hello?" I called, my voice echoing strangely. "Can anyone hear me?" No answer, only silence, and what sounded like the faint rushing of water way off in the distance, the raging river that brought me here. "Louisa?" I shouted louder now. "Flint?" Still nothing. Panic clawed at my heart, deep and relentless. My lungs felt like they could collapse at any moment from the water I swallowed and the anxiety crushing in around me. "Louisa!" I yelled, and the sob broke out before I could stop it. The cavern swallowed every desperate attempt I made. The silence settled even heavier afterward, thick and suffocating, like a weighted blanket thrown over me. A knot formed in my throat, and my eyes burned with tears as I sank down onto the pebbles and pulled my knees tightly to my chest. "Please," I whispered through shaky breaths. "Anybody." The silence that answered me was unbearable. It pressed in from every direction, thick and empty, and for one horrible moment I truly felt it. How completely alone I was down here. No Louisa, no Flint, no voices, no way out. Just me, trapped beneath all that glowing stone and darkness, like the rest of the world had disappeared without me. My breathing suddenly sped up again. Too fast. My chest tightened painfully as I sucked in shallow breaths that never felt like enough air. My fingers dug into my sleeves while panic crawled up my throat, hot and suffocating. "Breathe!" The memory slipped into my mind faintly through the panic. Mom's voice. Calm. Gentle. "Ivory, breathe." I squeezed my eyes shut and tried to listen, even while my body fought against me. I forced in one shaky breath, then another, slow, ragged, painful. But gradually, the crushing pressure in my chest loosened just enough for me to think again. I forced myself back to my feet and leaned against the cool, hard surface of the crystal-covered wall. My wet hair clung to my face and neck, while warm tears slid down my cold skin and soaked into my clothes. Just as the terrible loneliness had sunk in, the memories crashed in all at once. Kai's body hitting the ground, the defeated sound he made when Drock drove his talons into him, like it was nothing, like Kai was nothing. I squeezed my eyes shut, but it didn't help. The image was burned into me. Louisa's arms, dirty and bloody, her scream as I fell, and the persistent thought that refused to leave me alone. This was my fault. Getting caught at the knock-torn camp, getting hurt, putting my sister and friends in danger. I hesitated when I should have gone with her, Flint and Gark. If I had just listened, if I had just been faster, if I hadn't hesitated, I wouldn't be stuck here. A frustrated scream ripped out of me before I could stop it. I slammed my fist against the crystal-covered wall, pain shooting through my knuckles. "I should have listened!" I shouted, my voice cracking violently through the cavern. "Flint told me to go. Kai tried to help me, and I ruined everything." I hit the wall again, harder this time, tears blurring my vision. Why didn't I just go? My scream echoed wildly around the cavern until my voice broke apart into another pained sob. My knees buckled beneath me. My sobbing continued. "I'm sorry," I whispered. Then louder, my voice breaking. "I'm sorry." I fell back onto the pebbles, arms spread, fingers digging into the gravel as tears slid down my temples and soaked into my hair. I clutched my chest as my cries turned into coughing. I felt the tear in my wet hoodie and the t-shirt underneath. My scar still felt tender. Then my mind jumped again, to Flurry. Her small body curled in that hospital bed, paws wrapped in stained bandages, white fur matted with blood and mud. To Charlie and Burrow, Flurry's brothers, taken by the glue mines, pulled into the void, gone. Drock's words echoed in my head, the whispers from villagers, the looks they gave me. Humans are make things worse. Humans make the void angry. I covered my face and cried harder. "Maybe they're right," I sobbed. "Maybe this really is happening because of me." The thought twisted in my gut so painfully it felt like I might split open. I turned onto my side, ignoring the larger rocks that poked at my arms and thighs. I thought of Mom, Noctivir's elder, healthy now, powerful, but distant. Not the mom who used to laugh with us or hold us when we were scared. She had thousands of people depending on her now. I remembered seeing the pain in her eyes when she knew an organized rescue was not possible. She had no choice. She couldn't come for Louisa. So why would she come for me? Guilt twisted deep in my stomach as I curled tighter into myself. Then my thoughts drifted back to Louisa, my little sister. Brave, loud, stubborn, always charging forward, even when she was terrified. Something I had always admired her for. What would she do right now? The thought sparked something, small, but still there. I breathed deeply, trying to calm myself down. She wouldn't sit here. She wouldn't fall apart. But even if she did, she'd dust herself off, and she'd move. She'd get up. She'd search. She'd fight, even if it felt hopeless. A small spark of hope and determination flickered in my chest. Louisa wouldn't stop looking for me. She'd never give up. I bet she's out there somewhere right now, not giving up. I nodded at the thought, wiped my face with my cold, soaked sleeve, and forced myself to stand. My legs shook, but I stayed upright as I moved along the cavern wall, running my hands over the cool crystal and stone, searching for anything at all. "Think," I whispered, my breaths ragged, my body shaking from both the cold and the crying. Maybe Gark could find a way. He knew the mines. He knew tunnels. I couldn't give up. I scanned the ground and grabbed a jagged stone from the shore. Raising it above my head, I slammed it against one of the walls of glowing crystals. Nothing. I hit it again. Harder. The crystal didn't even chip. Its blue, pulsing glow stayed steady, like it didn't care, like it was mocking me. I struck it again and again until my arms burned and my chest ached, until the anger drained out of me and left only exhaustion. I dropped the stone and my shoulders sagged. Defeat hit me all at once. I sank back onto the pebbles and buried my face in my hands. All I wanted was Louisa. I just wanted to hold my sister and hug her, like the way Mom used to hug us. That thought cracked something open inside me. Not the elder of Noctavir, but Mom from back home. I saw her clearly then. Not sick, not distant, just her. Standing in front of the mirror while I copied her makeup, both of us laughing when I smeared it everywhere. Her spinning me around the room, dancing in her silly way, me trying to keep up until we both collapsed on the floor, breathless and giggling. Then I heard it, laughing. It was soft, light, but something felt wrong. It was a child's laugh. I froze. It came again, gentle, familiar. Is that? I turned slowly, my heart pounding. Hello? I called. The laughing came again, clearer this time. Help me! I shouted. The laughter continued, this time much closer. I turned toward the crystals on the wall. Their large, smooth blue surfaces reflected me, but not the way a mirror should. The girl staring back was younger and smaller, with messy hair and a wide smile. The world around her was hazy, like fog pressed against glass, but she was clear. So was Mom beside her, healthy, laughing, dancing just to make me laugh harder. My breath hitched. Is this? I whispered. I pressed my palm to the crystal, and it pulsed once beneath my touch. Then again. The light didn't just glow, it shifted, as if something noticed me. And suddenly, the cavern answered. Blue light rippled across the walls and ceiling as more memories bloomed into existence, dozens of them. Shimmering blue scenes unfolding like stars igniting. I walked around and watched them all in awe. Me and Mom, me and Louisa, playing with dolls, riding bikes, blowing out birthday candles, doing gymnastic routines on the trampoline, playing house, lazy rainy afternoons, watching TV, little moments I didn't realize I'd missed. Then, I saw a different set of memories as I walked along the walls. Memories of him, memories of Dad. One memory formed farther away. It was softer and foggier at the edges. He held me at a football game, cheering as he bounced me in his arms. I was barely 2 or 3. I remembered the warmth of that moment, the noise of the electric atmosphere, and the sound of his laugh, being with him. Another memory flickered beside it, me sitting on his lap, clutching a toy controller while he used a real one, playing one of his classic video games he always went on about. Then, the last one. This was the one that hurt. It was him leaning over my bed, hugging me, saying goodnight, then tickling me until I squealed, then saying goodnight again, then tickling me again. It was the bedtime cycle Mom always rolled her eyes at, saying he was just riling me up right before bed. A knot pulled tight in my chest. But this memory was the night before. Hey, sweetie. The voice cut through the memory, and for a confused second, I looked around on the wall in front of me for the source of the voice. But that wasn't where it came from. This voice was clear, gentle, and real. I spun around. He stood a few steps away from me, not displayed in the crystal, not reflected, just there, separate from the memories, solid and whole, dressed in a casual outfit, a button-down shirt and slacks, but it was all white, glowing softly in competition with the blue light of the cavern. His short light brown hair was just the way I remembered it, and his dark brown eyes were warm and steady as they met mine. "Dad?" I whispered.